Deconverted man here. Theists, apologists, listen to this very important message from a skeptic, an atheist. You guys and gals and robots, you keep putting out false information about the word atheist. And it has to be, at this point, I got to believe it's deliberate. And if you're willing to lie to people about that, then people should think that you're willing to lie about other things to them. So stop putting out the false information about what the word atheist is. There are two definitions to this word, and by and large, the first one isn't used hardly at all, if at all. And you're just going to have to accept that. You don't have to agree with it, but you do need to embrace that reality. By atheists, by and large, people nowadays tend to mean that they lack belief in God. And whether you understand that or accept that, again, doesn't matter. That's what they tend to mean. Of course, everyone is a little bit different and nuanced in how they want to phrase that, but that is the case. In a recent video I just did, I noticed that the apologist had this idea that because I don't believe in God, that must mean that in regards to this, how reality came to be, that whatever the answer is, it can't be God because, well, I don't believe in God. But no, that would make me something that I am not. If that was my position, and I was saying, it's not God, it's never God, there is no God, there can't be God, and whatever or however the universe came to be, it wasn't, or reality itself, it wasn't God. I'd make that very clear. I would try to. But the word atheist does not and cannot imply this. And I said it in this way. You think I believe the universe was made by not God. That in regards to the universe, whatever did or didn't, or however it came to be, made it, didn't make it, whatever, as long as that thing isn't God, that I would be happy. But no. Simply not believing in God also means that I don't believe anything connected to what God can or cannot do. So you might believe your God could create a universe, and okay, there might be people that believe in a God that can't create a universe or didn't create the universe, but have other powers, or maybe their God doesn't have powers. I don't know. And that is their belief. I don't share that. God, I don't even know what that is. As a skeptic, I notice that humans have different ideas about this word God, and I don't know who's right. They can't all be right. Maybe one of them is right, but I don't have any way to figure that out in the way that I can figure out other things about the world around me. The methodology that I apply to everything else works really well on everything else, but for whatever reason, this God thing is not able to have the same sort of things for it that I look for everything else. The empirical evidence, repeatable tests, a valid and sound argument, those just aren't present for God for whatever reason, as far as I can tell. But simply being an atheist doesn't mean that I believe there is no God. It could mean that. It might be that certain gods, I would say absolutely no to those gods. I have to say no to gods that are logically incoherent, but that's different than simply saying there's no God, which is the classical version of atheist that apologists, philosopher, theist types seem to be hung up on, this philosophical definition of atheism that by and large is not used by atheists, broadly speaking, as far as I can tell. Now, to my knowledge, no one has done a wide-scale survey of atheists to ask atheists what we consider the word atheist to be. I could do a very small-scale survey, and maybe I will, but unless you guys pay attention to that, unless you accept what we say, then it's not going to do any good. And I find it really frustrating that I've told theists and I've told apologists what the word atheist is, and they refuse to accept it. And I have to conclude that that is because their argument relies upon straw man. Their argument is so weak that it cannot withstand the truth. And if that's the case, then don't bother arguing for your God, because you don't have the truth in you and you don't care about it. So if you're going to talk about non-belief in God at all, maybe you should figure out what that is before talking about it. And that's my very important message to the theists and apologists out there. Hopefully you'll actually hear it and accept it.